Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me here again on NBA Rugby. And we are talking a wild weekend. I'm not talking about last weekend, obviously. Last weekend we had the Investor Cup challenge. And it was quite, it seems like the Stormers had still, continuing on their victory streak. Shall I call it that? The winning streak. Still showing people exactly what they can do. They are yet undefeated within the URC, and it seems like this Investor Cup might go the same way. It seems like it is difficult for them to break their stride at this stage. But also, we are talking mostly the end of the autumn series, the quintet, I think, as they have started calling it. With the last match between the Springboks and Wales. Now, beside the fact that it was an absolute brilliant match with some fantastic display of rugby, there are unfortunately the overshadowing issue that has kind of an ugliness that kind of stuck his head out, which I'm going to talk about as well. And then to continue on, the Stormers also taking on Munster that same weekend. And, well, let me just put it to you this way. I've just said that they are yet undefeated. It seems that they are absolutely not stopping. And there's nobody stopping them thus far. So without any further ado, let's just buckle down, get our beers out, and let's start talking rugby. Well, guys, it's been a bit of a wild ride within this autumn series, and which is now that's concluded. It's the last of the international rugby sessions within this year, probably to pick it up again next year, 2026, in preparation now for the World Cup happening in 2027, Australia. So it is definitely one of those absolute wild rides that we've had thus far. Springboks undefeated within the autumn series challenge. Did hit a couple of snags beginning of this year. I will probably do a bit of a revision of the 2025 rugby season towards the end of this year, just before sort of breaking up time happens. And of course, there's been highs and there's been lows, but I think probably not last weekend, but the weekend before that was probably the lowest point, especially for Eben Etzebeth in this rugby season. Now, definitely some good, some bad that's come from it. South Africa delivering probably one of the best performances we've seen thus far. Although it is against Wales, Wales has been marred by some serious performance issues. And although, they've been putting in a lot of work, and you can see it from their set plays, from their efforts going into the matches, and trying to some serious effort to try and mount some pressure or counter offensiveness in most of their games, it just hasn't gone well for them. They did get a very needed morale boost from defeating Japan about 4 weekends ago, but immediately got knocked down again when facing the All Blacks at Cardiff. And now from 2 weekends ago against the Springboks, strong performance by the guys in green and gold, although it was white and green this time, as the Springboks was again kitted out within their the away game, the white and green away game kit, and it's been very tough for the Welsh players. South Africa being absolutely oiled machine, especially within the scrums and the rolling mauls, the rucks. Malcolm Marx again being extremely quick. Not just him, but Andre Estereza also delivering a fantastic performance within scrummaging and in the breakdowns. And then coming into Eben Etzebeth and Peter Steptoe with the lineouts, just absolutely delivering peak performance. Winning some Welsh balls even, reading the Welsh lineouts like a book. And Wales had, no answers for every single question that the Springboks had been posing them. Now, Cobus Reinach, also a very proud moment for him, running out into the field for his 50th cap, just after Archie Snyman had his 50th in the Irish game before that. And unfortunately, it's been marred by a real unfortunate incident involving the Welsh flanker Alex Mann and the South African lock Eben Etzebeth. It basically started off with a bit of a scuffle. Unfortunately, you don't really see what happens or what actually instigated the whole issue. But as the referee turns around after blowing the whistle from the ball going dead, he sees the scuffle, immediately runs over, tries to gain control of the entire situation, and blowing the whistle a couple of times, it does seem like he could get it a bit to, calm down a bit. From what I could gather from what the announcers seems to have been talking about, it seems like the whole thing started off in a scuffle between Zachary Porthen and one of the Welsh players. Eben Etzebeth then goes over in to try and help out his teammate, as he would always do. I mean, when I think it was Dylan Lates that got swung on the hair, I think not by Sam Kane, but definitely I think it was Sam Whitelock back then. But no, was it Will Jordan? Or Sonny Bill Williams? Could have been one of those. Really, tackling. He went for a tackle on Dylan Lates, grabbed him by the hair, and then swung him around immediately like a bullet. Eben was there and grabbed the guy by the scruff and really letting him know he's not very happy. But coming to the defense of his teammate, and exactly the same here with Zachary Porthen. Eben trying to break up the whole thing, coming to the aid of Zachary, and at a certain point, him and Alex Mann got a bit going there. It did seem to calm down a bit, and it, up to a point where maybe Eben Etzebeth tried to walk away, to kind of break away from Alex Mann, and then, it suddenly escalated through the roof. And what the TMO picks up is the unfortunate contact between Eben Etzebeth's thumb and Alex Mann's eye. Now, immediately, this is deemed a very dangerous move, and Eben Etzebeth is given the straight red card. No questions, no bunker, nothing. Eben has a few words with the referee as he's going off, but yeah, just walking off as nothing can be done. Okay, referee's not going to be swayed at this point. But however, as we are now they started gearing up for the disciplinary hearing between, afterwards with Eben, some hidden footage comes to light. And it started off with a post on Twitter by Brian Abana, which he basically shows kind of this discombobulated hand, if you could, or severed hand, if you could call it that, but it's a specific angle shot where, and I'll put it up here now, where Eben basically seems to have been gouged in his eye first. So it would seem like the eye gouge on Alex Mann might have been, or the grabbing in the face might have been retaliatory. Now, obviously, a lot of people think, that you only see the hand coming into Eben's face. You don't even know if that hand belongs to Alex Mann. But if you take it from another angle, you can actually see an arm extended from Alex Mann sort of backwards. And I'll put it up here now for you to actually see as well. It's, that's very much Alex Mann's arm. And it goes into Eben's face. So, I don't know, what other people are basically seeing, but World Rugby, the disciplinary panel afterwards concluded that Eben Etzebeth acted with forethought and malice. I'm not sure. Look, I mean, there's a lot of frustration that happens at that point in the game. There's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of adrenaline pumping at that stage, and people act, especially if you've just been raked in the eye. You are going to act out. I would act out. I mean, at that point, it's like an eye for an eye. You want to, quite literally, no pun intended there, if you want to grab me by the eye, I'm going to grab you in the face and maybe go for the eye. I don't know. Eben claims the intention was never there to go for the eye, but just simply to grab him in the face. But yeah, why I would do that, I would never recommend any player. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I mean, that when the adrenaline start pumping and when you start, getting a bit of frustration or letting off some steam, that you never go for the eye or the face, because there could always be the possibility of accidentally grabbing the guy in the eye. And almost like grabbing somebody in the nether regions, gouging the eye is also a very, very frowned on act within rugby. And I mean, we take a couple of, I think it was the beginning of this year where or it was last year, where Mapimpi grabbed one of the Scottish players in the URC in the face, and he was done for gouging. I think he received quite a few, it was a 5-6 weeks ban or 6-game ban that he suffered from that. But of course, it was also retaliatory. This guy grabbed him and pulled his entire jersey over his head, which I suppose Mapimpi saw as extremely disrespectful, and retaliated. So, yeah, it is just, it's one of those things, you kind of lose perspective in the heat of the moment as adrenaline is pumping, and that is unfortunately the outcome of it all. Now, Eben claims that was not intentional. He was simply trying to retaliate to him being grabbed in the face. So he went according to him, went for the face on Alex Mann. And unfortunately, even Alex Mann came forward in a surprising act, I suppose, a surprising honorable act to stand up for Eben and saying that he never felt a finger in the eye. So... But regardless of that, there seems to have been mitigation because he was granted an 18-week ban or 18-game ban by the disciplinary panel, and that was reduced to 12 weeks. So due to mitigation, as they claim. Now, the mitigation was probably Alex Mann's testimony. It could also have been the considering of the extra footage that has been revealed, but concluded that you cannot convincingly say that was Alex Mann's hand. I'm not quite convinced, but okay. That is, I suppose it could have been worse. I didn't expect Eben to just walk away from the scot-free. I expected it to be probably around about a 9 to 10 week ban, but also not the full 18. They said the maximum could have been about 48 games, which will probably have ruled him out for the next season. Not even sure if he would have been able to make it back for the 2027 World Cup, but as it stands, it's only about 12 games, so I think he will probably be ready to join the Sharks about April next year. It's just one of those unfortunate things that happen. I'll put up the times as well that was sent to me that Eben that's going to be banned. So yeah, so you can view it yourself. It is just one of those unfortunate things, and nothing we can do about it now. just going forward from there. But a solution seems to have been found so that Eben, can still serve his team in a more of a passive capacity. He will be joining the coaching team for the Sharks in the URC season, so that he can still be, taking a bit more of an active role within the team, prepping the more of the new players into the tactics, and slotting in with the more seasonal players for the Sharks as well, and also just imparting his rich experience in the game of rugby to the more seasoned players as well. I think that's probably going to be a very good thing for him to do. But yeah, Stormers, absolutely wonderful game that they had against Munster. It was a bit of a seesaw matchup, and also didn't really do too well within the first half. 21-6 at halftime. Only 2 penalty goal conversions by Yuri Matia. It was a tough game from the starting whistle, but I don't know what John Dobson said to the boys, but in the second half they seemed to really catch their rhythm and come back with an absolute strong vengeance, almost from the starting blocks, immediately grabbing the dominance and the pressure, turning it over completely onto Munster. The scrums just fell into place. The lineouts was just absolutely perfectly read, and also finding the open spaces. For, I think it was Mani Lebok coming in, finding the open spaces right in the back line behind Munster's lines there, asking a whole bunch of questions, and Munster just didn't have the answers, and which was a tough game because, again, people like Sasha Famberg or Mazulu, and obviously Zachary Portham not being with a team at this time. But again, Ruan Nel and his team, absolutely fantastic game. They can be really proud of themselves, making one of the comebacks of the season, if I have to say so myself, from 21-6 to 21-27, excuse me. Absolutely fantastic game to watch. Really, really strong comeback. And I'm hoping to see a lot more of them, that kind of play. Not really the kind of comeback king that we saw within the Beyond game. It wasn't televised over here. I had to, go onto YouTube and watch the replays or the highlights. But really played very well, ending Beyond's victory streak on their home ground. So yeah, very strong comeback, and I really think Stormers is on a roll, and nobody's going to stop them at this point. Or thus far, nobody has been able to. So I think we can really look forward to an absolute fantastic season of URC coming up. They retaking it, I think, sort of towards the end of the year now. Then it's going to be breaking up and retaking it again in January 2026, picking it up again there. But I will be covering most of the games as they happen. Also, just a bit of an honorary mention, the Lions did very well in their game against the Bulls, taking the Bulls out on their stronghold field. Sharks not doing too well, unfortunately. And I fear we might be seeing sort of the exit for Plumtree as the head coach for the Sharks coming soon. He's already talked about hasn't been revealed yet as to who will be taking over from him, but there is talk and speculation of an ex-Springbok player then that's going to be eyeing the Sharks' head coach position coming up. So, well, we'll have to see what happens, and I hope that if this is true, and we are unfortunately seeing the last of John Plumtree being head coach for the Sharks, I really hope him and wish him all the best of luck for the future, wherever his coaching takes him. If he's going to be probably going back to New Zealand, coaching a few local teams there, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. That's it for me, and I'll be hoping to see you guys in the next couple of weeks when we'll be retaking up the URC games. I will also be talking a bit about a few other things, the whole kind of consistency issue in question that has been coming up now again for the Eben Etzebeth thing. I just find it a bit funny that the referee didn't quite, the TMO was immediately going towards the eye gouging that happened on Alex Mann from Eben's side, but not at all a single mention of the face contact on Eben Etzebeth. And I would, there's a lot of questions about that. Why was that not shown? I'm pretty sure that they, with all the cameras around the field, there must be some angles that they could have shown us, or the TMO could have showed the referee, and then he could have made a decision from there. Maybe we could have gotten a proper angle to see exactly whose hand it was that connected with Eben's eye. So anyway, yeah, guys, so please give me your comments in the comments field below. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. That really helps the channel out. Hit that bell button to get new updates whenever I post new videos. And I do apologize for not posting a video last week, as my internet was down for the entire week. Only came back today, actually. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video as you join me. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Looking forward to see you guys. Love you guys all. Peace out.
Of Norkia, Edwards, Murray, rather had to go backwards there. Wales have lost a couple of metres. Edwards, bouncing ball, and it might yet work for Kane and Moody. Moody with the chase. Moody's going to win this unless the ball bounces unkindly, which it doesn't, and Moody scores.
I think he's still in possession.
He's still in possession and grounding the ball. So.
Try.